what's up? We are back for episode 3 of Summer House Martha's Vineyard. We're a day late because championship was yesterday. Dawn Staley and her girls won. And WrestleMania was yesterday too, so I was not focused. I was not watching any of this that happened at all yesterday. So I just watched the episode now today. Good episode. I got a lot of thoughts. I know y'all got some thoughts. So if you are new here, thumbs up the video, drop a comment down below. Let me know what y'all thought about the episode. Subscribe. That's number one. Subscribe. We are on the way to 3,000. I'm literally like a little under 300, a little over 300 subscribers from 3,000. So let's go ahead and get there. So hit that subscribe button for me. And like I said, thumbs up the video. Engagement is important. Thumbs up the video and please drop a comment. But enough of that. Let's go. All right. So we get back from the little cliffhanger with Nick pretty much addressing Jordan and Summer about him being touchy-feely with them. And he was saying pretty much how Jordan and Summer and him are all close. So he'd expect them to pretty much come to him and tell him if he's ever made them feel uncomfortable, and they haven't done it. But they said that they don't feel like he's been a creep or anything. But Jordan then goes in her confessionals and saying like him being handsy is not behavior of somebody that is in a committed relationship, or at least wants to commit to their relationship. While that's true, you should have said that to him. That's how I feel. Jordan, this episode, I've already felt like Jordan has always been a mean girl, but she even had me siding with girl Summer, who was also a mean girl, but we'll get to that later on. But I felt like she could have said that to him. But Nick goes down to tell the boys that he pretty much talked to them, and they pretty much stated they're not really uncomfortable with him. Like they pretty much said he does get handsy, but they weren't uncomfortable in a way to where he would feel like he's overstepping boundaries or whatever. And then the rest of the crew, they all getting ready to go out to have this party in the backyard that they're going to have later on that night. So Shanice is talking about how close she is with her mom. She's on the phone talking to her mom. She pretty much tells her everything that goes on in her life day to day. But she brings up the game that they played where Summer had called her the worst dressed. And Shanice's mom, I like her. I can already tell I like her from how she was on the phone with her. She's pretty much telling her like she's probably jealous of you and like her opinion does not matter anyways. And her mama says she ain't worth it. She said either move on or knock her ass out. And I was like, exactly. Like that's really what it comes down to. But Noelle and Alex, they're downstairs slick flirting. They're matching. They're both wearing like these orange neon colors. The rest of the crew, they ended up heading out back to go ahead and have this little party. It's all neon colors. Some are wearing orange. Some are wearing pink and green. They're in the pool, in the hot tub, dancing, twerking, doing whatever. Shanice is running around naked, of course. Like she's just a free spirit. She's a hippie type. You can tell she got like a hippie type vibe. Like she's super free spirited. She does whatever she want to do. But they play a game. They play slip and slide, and then they have to get up and play flip cup. And once the cup is flipped, the next person on their team goes down. So they pick teams. Shanice got Alex, Jordan, Bria, Jasmine, and Preston, and Amir got Nick, Noelle, and Summer. So they start playing the game, and as they're playing this game, a car pulls up, and Shanice goes over there to welcome the guests, which is Hendrix and Christian, which are her friends. Hendrix is actually a friend of Shanice's ex, and the producer ends up asking her in her confessional if they've hooked up. She claims that they haven't. She said, like, friend of friend, she don't do that. But they still head out back. Out back, they're still playing while Hendrix and Christian get in the house and start getting changed. Shanice then brings them back to the back to introduce them to everybody. And Noelle and Hendrix, they start vibing. And I'm catching Alex watching. And he's watching in the moment. To me, it felt like he was definitely trying to see what was going on. I don't want to say he was bothered, but he definitely was paying attention. Like he was paying more attention to somebody that's single and not really paying attention to somebody. Like when I say paying attention to somebody as if they want to possibly build a relationship with. The way he was looking didn't align with that. Like I don't feel like we later find out that he's not really trying to pursue Noelle, but the way he was acting seemed like he could have might have been thinking about wanting to pursue her because he looked a little concerned. But they start doing that. They having like pretty much good conversation. You could tell they starting to flirt or whatever. And Noelle's happy that somebody's in the house that none of her friends have hooked up with. So she said she's on vacation. She's single. She's trying to have fun. They start biting into the same cupcake, and like I said, Alex is still paying attention. So I'm like, okay. But then they plan on going out to have a. They plan on going out for the rest of the night. So they head back in the house. Jasmine is not trying to go. Noelle and Alex are in the kitchen. They're still talking about like pretty much where he is relationship wise. And he's saying that he was seeing somebody before they got out there, but he's single, like he's open to whatever. And he says that he loves Noelle's vibe. As they're having this conversation, Summer is awkwardly walking around the kitchen, quote unquote, looking for something. And I'm like, this is just awkward. But Preston, Summer, Jordan, and Jasmine, they're the ones that are staying in the house while the rest of the crew head out. They go out, they have fun, they come back at 2:55 in the morning. Everybody's clearly drunk. So the next morning, everybody's waking up. Nick and Amir are out back cleaning the house and cleaning the backyard because they had all this shit back there, drinks, food, all that stuff that they left back there. So Jordan ends up going in Shanice's room. And she's pretty much asking her if her and Summer have talked. And Shanice said no, but they're going to talk. But she just did not like how she went about what she did with the game. And Jordan says she doesn't believe that her intentions were bad, but she also had to cuss her ass out before she got there. And I'm like, oh, really? And this kind of sets the tone between Jordan and Summer for the rest of the episode because they had tension the rest of the episode, which was weird. But I'll get to it later on. But Shanice was like, what was you cussing her out about? And Jordan said that she was doing the most with one of her favorite bartenders, which I'm assuming Jordan might have possibly been wanting to get into it with, or maybe has. I don't know. The way she described this interaction made it seem like she might have possibly had some type of interactions with this person. But Summer was apparently making out with him in front of her building, Jordan's building. And Jordan was saying it's about respect and she don't need judgment that already comes with her being a black woman. I'm like, I get what you're saying. Sometimes decorum is definitely necessary when it comes to being out in public. Who knows what time of night it was, if she was drunk and that was happening. I mean, you can't really get mad at her for that. Like, I feel like Jordan cares too much about what people think about her. That's just what I'm gathering it with. Because why is that bothering you that bad? Like, she outside making out. Okay. What does that have to do with you? But whatever. Maybe she was standing out there waiting on her or whatever. But I'm like, what does it have to do with you? But Amir, Bria, Preston, and Noelle, they end up heading out to go to the grocery store. And Amir ends up asking Noelle about her and Hendrix. She says that he was pretty much wanting her to be all on him, and she ain't like that. Amir then asked her about her and Alex. And she pretty much saying, like, essentially, like, she's interested. Like, she's single, but she's interested. But she ends up asking, like, Amir for any insight on how Alex is feeling about her. And he pretty much says that, like, he finds her attractive. He likes her personality and wants to get to know her more. And Noelle says she's in her young, single, ready to mingle stage in her life. So they start talking about how Summer would feel about it. And Preston claims that Summer would not care. And I'm like, you know damn well that is a lie. She would care. Like, Summer is clingy, a stage 5 clinger. And seeing that in her face, she definitely would care. But back at the house, Jasmine is telling Jordan and Summer that Mariah is coming. And I'm like, yes. Because I loved Mariah last season. I loved her. And I didn't want her to go home when she did. But Mariah was hurt about how everything went down last summer. And Jasmine and Mariah, they were best friends. So with her being the one to have to tell her that she had to leave, put them in a rough spot with their friendship. So Jasmine's pretty much talking about how they figured their way out to being back friends, ironing out their issues. And Summer then says that Phil is supposed to be coming as well. And Jordan obviously is not happy about that. If you did not watch last season, go watch it. But them two was into it all season last season, essentially. But Jasmine feels that everybody deserves a second chance. To a certain degree, I do agree. But then to a certain degree, I feel like some people show you who they are the first time that you meet them. And you need to take that as what it is. Because the minute somebody shows you who they are, 9 times out of 10, that is who they are. But the crew that's out at the grocery store, they're getting the food. They head back home. Noelle ends up getting Alex some food. And Amir says, he pretty much says in front of everybody, with Summer sitting over there on the couch where she can hear, that Noelle thought of Alex and got him some food. And Summer sitting there eavesdropping. Jordan and Summer get in their confessionals talking about how cringy it was for Noelle to do that. I'm like, it's only cringy because you don't like the fact that she and Alex are at least flirting or trying to see what might possibly happen. So I'm like, how is it cringy? It's only cringy because you don't like it. But Jasmine ends up calling a house meeting. And this house meeting is setting up the drama for the rest of the episode. So she brings up how they should she pretty much brings up how they're going to have guests coming in and how they would feel about Phil coming to the house as Shanice and Bria's guests. Preston said, fuck no, essentially. Everybody else is essentially agreeing with him. They don't like the way that he was acting last season. They don't like the way he talked. They don't like the way he acted. And Jordan starts talking about how they got into it and she never got an apology. And Alex is not fucking with it. Nick said no. Shanice and Bria are like, okay, well, I'm not going to argue with y'all. Like, if y'all don't want him here, he's not going to come. That's just what it is. And they said if they do end up hanging, and then Amir said this too, like, if you want to hang out with him, that's cool. But we're not going to be around that. I'm like, okay, that's simple. Like, that is what it is. If he's out there and they want to hang out with him, let him do it, but y'all don't have to be there. And I'm like, that's the smart thing to do. But Jasmine then asked about Mariah, and most of them did not have an issue with Mariah, but Bria. And Bria gets up walking off super passive aggressively and says that she doesn't mind if Mariah is there after Jasmine pretty much says like she's coming with good vibes and good energy. Like, it's not what you think it's going to be. So they all ended up dispersing and whatever, and Shanice and Bria end up going upstairs to call Phil. So they're pretty much letting him know that everybody has strong feelings about him still and don't want him there. And Preston is the most bothered. As that happens, Preston is downstairs with Amir, getting super emotional, venting, pretty much saying like he didn't feel comfortable with Phil in the house. And essentially he's stating that he feels triggered by the way that Phil speaks, the way he's super aggressive with his wording, and how the way he jokes and stuff is essentially triggering to him with how he was bullied in the past as a gay man. So that's just how he feels about that. So Noelle joins them out there, joins Bria and Shanice upstairs while they still talking to Phil. Phil then says that Jasmine is actually flying Mariah out and has already booked her trip and she's going to be there on the 1st. Of course, Bria is pissed off about it. Like, she hot. And they realized that it essentially was already arranged. And Bria said, like, she was going to come regardless. Like, Jasmine brought up that meeting to make it seem like, oh, she might possibly come out here, but she already had her on the way out here anyway. So she's mad. But the next scene, we get Jordan upstairs crying about her hair falling out and her not feeling like herself. And Summer's consoling her about it because they all getting ready to go out. So they all ended up heading out to go to Noman's. I think that's how you pronounce it. That same dinner spot that they went to last year. And Alex is covering the dinner. So Noelle, Bria, and Shanice, they're the only three that are sitting there blessing their food. And of course, Shanice got to get vulgar. I feel like some of the stuff she be doing, I feel like is either OD or she's like putting it on because she's on TV. Some of the stuff she be doing is like too vulgar to where it's like, what's the point? Like, they saying grace and you out here talking about your vagina. Like, what does it have to do with anything? But that's what she's doing. Those are the only things. Keep in mind, it's not just them three at the table. Everybody is there. They're just saying their own grace, holding hands or whatever. Everybody else is over there eating. But Bria then asked Jasmine, as they're literally sitting there just eating and talking, if it was premeditated for her to have Mariah come to the house. And Jasmine said I definitely wanted her to come. That's what she said. Bria then asked her. Bria already knew what the answer was that she was asking. She just pretty much trying to see how Jasmine's going to act. Bria then asked her, was the ticket already booked? Jasmine said, as of now, it is. Bria said, okay, so since when? And Jasmine says, probably last night. Knowing damn well it wasn't last night, because Bravo pulls up the screenshots to show that Jasmine booked that flight 5 days ago. So Jasmine's lying, which I don't know why she is. I'd have told her flat out, look, yeah, I wanted her to come. I just brought it up to you because I didn't want you to be thrown off guard when she's here. But Jasmine said in her confessionals, if it was a no from the house, no, I think she said that to them. If it was a no from the house, that the flight would have been canceled. Bria then brings up how Preston plans on meeting with, not Preston, Phil ends up wanting to meet up with Mariah to come to the house. That pisses Jordan off, who gets super aggressive, saying that he is not welcome in his house. Preston's pretty much echoing the same thing. Bria saying, like, if he shows up, it's not on her and Shanice. Like, if he shows up, we didn't invite him. That's just him doing what he wants to do. And Jasmine says, like, she don't know what Phil has been telling her, aka Bria. And Jordan then says, like, nobody's considering the fact that Bria went through what she went through with Mariah, and it's just looking shady for Jasmine to already have that flight booked knowing that Bria don't feel cool with Mariah in the house. All the girls, all the girls except for really Summer and Jasmine agreed. And Summer said nobody's really acknowledging the fact that Jasmine, she at least tries to take up for Jasmine in the moment, or at least get heat off of Jasmine. She said nobody's really acknowledging the fact that she at least brought it up to you. And I'm like, that's true, because like she could have not said anything and just have Mariah pop up, and you like, what the fuck is going on? Immediately, all them girls jumped on her. And Summer's like, damn, okay, well, it's not that deep. And they saying it is. So Shanice is telling Summer to go get us shots. She trying to be slick saying it. And then you tell she tries to laugh it off. She tries to get slick saying it. But Jasmine says that it hurts her feelings, pretty much saying to Bria, it hurts her feelings that she feels like she might be trying to set her up and she don't want her to feel that way. And Bria says it's shady. That like the whole thing is shady. I see where Bria is coming from, but I also see where Jasmine's coming from. I see both sides. But Jasmine said that she had to pretty much saying that I had to ask my best friend to leave the house last season. I'm on good terms with her. I want her to be here. I feel like essentially she wasn't really a threat of harming anybody in the house. So I feel like she should be here this season, at least for a weekend. And Amir pretty much ends up asking Summer if she's had the chance to talk to Shanice. And she pretty much gave him the okay to address it because they haven't talked. And he ends up asking Shanice, like, are you willing to talk to Summer? And Shanice talking about my brain is fried. I've been asked too many conversations. I've been having too many conversations, more than I've had in my life. Shanice then says the reason that she felt triggered is because she lost her job and doesn't have the funds to buy new clothes. And I'm like, okay, what does that have to do with you not being able to dress? Like what clothes you have? That's the thing though. I feel like with Summer, I still feel the way that I do. I feel like she shouldn't have said it. I feel like what she was doing is low-key shady, or high-key shady, honestly. And it is low-key making you look like a hater on the side, but also, Shanice, like, the clothes that you do have, you should be able to put pieces together to where you look good, regardless of how much money you have. I know a lot of people that don't have that much money that know how to dress. And the fact that she talking about she be fooling with all these high ballers, why they ain't give you no money to go get some new and nice clothes? Like, I don't get it. But Shanice was saying that she feels tension between them. And Summer says that she never had any tension with her. And she does look good. And she has the best body at the table. This part was hilarious because you look at Noelle. Noelle's face, the minute she said it, was like, and I'm like, yeah, you the one. that's the one you should have been talking to about saying that. Because Noelle does have the best body at the table. But everybody started laughing. And Summer saying it's not funny. Like in the moment, she's like, it's not funny. Like I'm trying to have a conversation. Jordan snaps in and says, well, who's laughing? Summer says they are. Then Jordan says, why are you turning up? I'm like, Jordan, you are a gaslighter. Like she straight up gaslit her because she was kind of like slick aggressive with her when she said, well, who's laughing? After you hear these people over here laughing. There was a couple people laughing. Jordan might not have been, but they were. But Jordan gaslit Summer when Summer answered the question. And then she's like, why are you turning up? Because you are getting slick aggressive. You could tell with the energy that Jordan had at that dinner table, she already had some type of tension towards Summer, which was weird to me because I'm like, did we miss something? Like, was something not shown as to why she's like slick shading her right now? And they're at opposite ends of the table too. I want to make that be known too. So it's weird. But Summer was also saying that her intent was not to hurt her and she was wrong for what she did and what she said. And they ended up squashing the beef. She owned up to it. Good. Bria is sitting there texting her mom saying that she's ready to go home. And then she ends up getting a car and tells the group that she's leaving. Preston wants her to leave Martha's Vineyard altogether. He said the next time she leave up out of here, I hope she's leaving to go back to New York. I was like, damn. But Summer asked Preston if she was wrong about the situation with Jordan because Jordan had got up. And Preston was like, yeah, you was loud, but... And then Summer was saying, too, like, Jordan gets loud, too, but nobody says anything to her. And he's like, yeah, Jordan do get loud. And Summer starts getting emotional when she says that, like, y'all always come at me, but y'all always excuse her when she's being mean. And I'm like, you got a point. I'm not a fan of Summer, but she got a point. Jordan is a bitch. Like, she is a bitch. She is mean. And I feel like she is a slick hater, too, but Jordan's beauty, I feel like Jordan's beauty kind of mask, or at least with the cast, they don't really hold her accountable. And I feel like it's because she's pretty. I feel like she needs to be addressed, and they need to really address her and her attitude. She's nasty. She got a nasty spirit. But Jordan comes back to the table as they're talking about this, and Preston says that he loves Summer and Jordan both, but both of them have sharp tongues and sharp tones when they speak, which is true. But they all ended up leaving to head out to the bar to dance. Alex is sitting there talking to girls, and Noelle is sitting there watching, and she's talking to Jasmine about it, saying that she don't have a right to feel some type of way about it, which is true because you are single and so is he. And Jasmine ends up saying, but she does have a way, she does have a reason to feel the way that she should or does, because that's just how he moves. Like if you're trying to get to know somebody and you seeing them moving like that, I guess you should have some type of feeling, or at least feel a certain way about it. But I still agree with what Noelle said initially. Like you can't go up to him and address it because that's not your man. Like he could do whatever he want to do, just like she could do whatever she wanted to do. But Bria is back at the house talking on the phone, talking about the situation, just being Bria. But we get to the last part of the scene where Noelle is sitting down talking to Summer and Jasmine outside of the bar. It's like they got like this little seating outside of the bar. And she's talking to Summer and Jasmine about how Alex is flirting. And she was doing it too last night. Summer says, as someone who's dealt with him, she feels that Noelle should at least tell him how she's feeling. I'm like, wrong. Because Noelle is drunk. And I feel like if she was sober, what she said would not have come out of her mouth. But we'll get to it. So she ends up sitting down with Alex. She tells him that she thinks he's attractive and thinks he's cool. And says that he probably doesn't know that she's interested, and asked him, like, do you know that? And he said, like, he's had some kind of inclination that she might be, and he's interested in getting to know her. But she says that she gets territorial, and she was flirting last night and wants him to move freely and not think about her, but also think about her as someone that he's of interest with. And I'm like, Noelle, don't do this. Don't do it, because the way she pretty much said, like, I want you to move freely and not think about me, that's exactly what he was doing. He was moving freely and was not thinking about you. So it was like, what's the point? But you could tell, like, she's in her feelings now because she is low-key feeling them. And you could tell he caught it, too. He said he thinks that she's a sweet girl, but he's been through a lot to where people create expectations of him, which is essentially what she's doing. And Noelle said, what, like this? And he said, yes. And I was like, oh, damn. And Alex said that Noelle's great and all, but she's also Summer's friend and he is not there for the drama. I'm like, smart move. But Noelle feels embarrassed. She even said it to him. And I'm like, yes, because you're drunk. Like, you are drunk speaking your sober mind. And if she was sober, she would have never said it. I truly believe that. But they head back home. Shanice is in the car about to throw up, always drunk. But Summer and Jordan, this is where we end the episode. They're getting into it at the end. And Summer's pretty much unleashing on Jordan, saying what she wanted to say. And of course, Jordan is sitting there calm now at this moment. And she's pretty much saying, like, Jordan be attacking people and getting away with it. And she kind of asked Preston, because Preston's in the car with her, to co-sign, and he was not doing it. Granted, I see why he didn't, because he didn't want to get involved. But in that instance, you kind of already agreed when you and Summer was talking about it at the table. So why you couldn't just say it to Jordan? Like, yeah, you do. Summer do be out of line, but Jordan, you be out of line as well. So, like, him as a friend, he should be able to hold both of them accountable. But maybe he just didn't want to get involved in the drama. But regardless, that's your friends. So at the end of the day, I would have addressed it. But Summer ends up walking away because she's upset because she didn't get to say what she wanted to say. And Jordan then starts hollering when she hears her talking about it. And then they come back together and they both screaming. So that's where we end the episode. I'm pretty sure we're going to pick up from it next week. But that's all I got. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are. Please thumbs up the video. Drop the comments down below. Please engage with the video. Y'all did good last week. A lot of engagements. But yeah, we're growing. I'm trying to build the audience for Bravo over here because I'm going to be here with the show. But yeah, I will see y'all next week. Please, peace, please. I was about to say, please subscribe. Please do that. But peace.